Ask most business owners what their company is worth, and you'll get a typically fast, confident answer. They seem to know. But then we ask how they got to that number, and that confidence usually disappears. Some of you, by the way, some of you know the exact number and have done detailed third-party valuations. I get it. But here's the reality. In a recent study found that only 52% of business owners say they actually know what their business is worth. And of those, nearly half aren't confident in their own answer. Think about that. Even the owners who claim to know their number don't really trust it. And here's why that matters so much. For most business owners, 80 to 90% of their net worth is tied up in the business itself. You would never let 85% of your retirement savings sit in a single stock you'd never had appraised. Maybe some of you would, but most of you wouldn't. But that's exactly what an unvalued business is. So how does a buyer actually come up with a number? It's not just about revenue. We've seen this before. Two businesses with nearly identical revenue can sell for dramatically different prices. The difference almost always comes back to one thing, and that is risk. A buyer takes your earnings and multiplies them by a number, and that multiple is essentially a measure of confidence. How confident is that buyer that your earnings continue after you hand over the keys? The less the business depends on any one person or any one customer or any one handshake, the higher that multiple is. The more it depends on them, the lower the multiple is. So here's the hardest part for most owners to hear. The biggest risk a buyer sees is you. And I'm speaking to myself, by the way, when I say this. I am also a business owner. But the relationships that we or you have built, the reputation you earn, the judgment you bring every day, that's what made the business work. But a buyer looks at that and asks one question. Hey, what happens to the cash flow the day you leave? They price that fear in, and the penalty is significant. Owner-dependent businesses typically sell at a discount of 25 to 35% compared to businesses that can run without the owner. So on a business earning $1.5 million a year, that's the difference between $7.5 million and a $10.5 million exit. $3 million just sitting on the table, hinging entirely on whether the business can run without you. So here's what I want you to hear. You don't have to be selling tomorrow for this to matter. Eventually, every owner is going to exit, planned or not, right? Illness, an unsolicited offer, burnout, or simply just time. The exit is one certainty in owning a business. And the exits that go badly are almost always the rushed ones. Value isn't built at the closing table. It's built in the years before when you still have time to fix what a buyer would otherwise discount. So start with the right question, not when am I selling, but what is my number and what is moving it? Okay? If you want to know and you want to find out where you actually stand, just let us know. You can text us at 585-485-0947. We have specialists in this area. We'd love to help you out. Make it a great day.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. Information here is provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither 6 Point Financial Partners, Private Client Services, nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of 6 Point Financial Partners. They do not necessarily represent those of Private Client Services, RFG Advisory, their employees, or their clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by 6 Point Financial Partners or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory LLC, RFG Advisory, or RFG. A registered investment advisor. Private Client Services, 6 Point Financial Partners, and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.